review cycles of these conversations, I decided they were too emotionally draining and yielded no significant results. I decided to stop them. The growing distance between us became inevitable, as I required more emotional connection than he was willing to provide. He was hesitant to open up to me, feeling he would get hurt, only to end up with the result that he feared. It took me 2 years to finally identify what was important to me in my life. I named these values my 3 pillars. So 1 was my children's well-being, 2 was my work, and 3 is my partner. In no particular order, they're all important. And so, I guess if you don't have 2 years to go through your personal values and what would be important to you, I think the overriding question, kind of for me now, although these 3 pillars still are really relevant to me now as they were back then, so the overriding question that one can ask themselves is, do I want to be here? And specifically, would I want to be anywhere else? So sometimes even if it's tough, but we still want to be there, that's pretty exciting. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2, on relationships. It's complicated. This is a phrase I hear most often when I'm on yet another date with a guy who is in a relationship. Kudos to the latest one who at least let me know he was in a relationship. Why agree to go on a date with me in the first place on a Wednesday when that was a day when you both had availability? Chatting over drinks, apparently his current relationship was complicated. The guy before that forgot to tell me he was married, and the guy before that, well, it's I'm not sure if this trend or issue of systemic cheating is exclusive to large cities or is it related to our age group, 40 and above. In truth, I'm not someone who particularly enjoys dating. I prefer the organic process of meeting someone, falling in love, having a lasting relationship. Yeah, who does it? So, that's chapter 2. There's more, there's not just that. Chapter 7, on parents. I once read that being self-sufficient can also be a weakness rather than just a strength. I found this notion intriguing as it resonates so much with our own behavior. Apparently this trait develops from a lack of trust in parents during one's formative years. As a result, you learn to manage everything by yourself. You don't depend on others due to fear of disappointment. To illustrate this point, when I was at university, I considered becoming a tour guide in my spare time. I pitched this idea to my mother and she responded, "You can't be a tour guide, you don't have the right education." So I went ahead, obtained my certificate and spent 5 months as a tour guide. It was a great way to earn money during university and a great excuse to travel. Tell me I can't do something I'm passionate about and watch me prove you wrong. Back in the day, I was the only student from the Faculty of Farming, which is my original degree, to ever earn a PhD from the Faculty of Medicine, and probably the only PhD to own a baby store, or to become a tennis coach for that matter. Yes, changing direction is challenging, but you can become or do anything you want to if you're willing to put in the effort. Take my tennis career for instance. I was 45 years old when I became a level 3 tennis coach. It's quite high. I never in my life thought I would even be a level 1. So, a level 3 license was something I never thought I could achieve. It took me 4 attempts to pass, 6 months longer than it should have. Foolishly, I didn't seek out a mentor like I was supposed to because, I was too busy. But I wasn't too busy to spend 6 months extra on it. So I persevered and I got it done. It might have been a long and quite painful journey, but I accomplished it. We have the choice to quit any day, but choose to quit tomorrow, not today. Keep persevering and you will reach your goals, I promise you. And don't let the opinions of others deter you. It's your life, your decisions, and your dreams. Thank you.
So any questions for Dr. Coco Novak? Come on. Question.
I love your energy and I love the joy that you bring to telling us your story. But in the journey that you've gone through, with all the changes, at any given point did you think I need to stop changing and just hold in any particular space?
That's a really good question actually. That's why I think I have a slight touch of ADHD perhaps. If not just more than a slight. So, I really enjoyed my PhD. I really enjoyed my company, and I'm really enjoying being a tennis coach. And now, kind of with this book and my YouTube channel, I'm really loving kind of the media aspect of it. So, one, in my 3 pillars of personal happiness, work is one of the factors because I really figured out, like, I want to enjoy what I do. I can't be in a job when I'm like, okay, I'm earning X amount of money, I'm paying my bills, and that's my life. I've actually quit jobs without having a job lined up, just because like I wasn't going to take it. So I'll give you an example. So before I became a tennis coach, the company that gave me this baby boss, like I call him in my work. So we were doing events, and we finished kind of booking one event up. It was midsummer, it was August, and we were about to start another event. And I'm like, okay, great. Between these two events, I'm going to go and take my summer holiday. And then he goes like, no, you're not having a summer holiday. I'm like, dude, what the hell? So I was really tired, and it's summer, and my kids were already off on holiday with their dad, and I'm like, what? And so I have a very active inner teenager. So as soon as he said, no, you cannot go on holiday, I basically started to become strawberry. Do you want me to open it for you? So I started to become strawberry. I started answering the phone, you know, like rocking on my chair and stuff, like on my office chair and stuff like that. And then so one morning he calls me in his office. It was literally like 9:30 a.m. And he's like, what was that? And I'm like, what? Like on that phone, I'm like, what? And I'm like, I want a summer holiday. He goes, you're not getting a summer holiday. And I said, and then he goes, if you don't like something, you can leave. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. So I just stood up and I have to. I could have just sat there and go, okay, I'm not going to get a summer holiday and work. I'm like, no. And that's when I became a tennis coach. So that was like, I was already level 2 by that time. I was doing it like on the side in the afternoons and evenings. So, I don't know. Like with the tennis that I'm doing now, I'm really enjoying it, right? So, and I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm quite happy. So, I'm just inclined to not be unhappy. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I still want to study law at some point. You know, I'm sure that you have so many talents and things that you want to do. So just do them. You only need one time. It doesn't matter. Just do them. Maybe do a drawing because I can't even draw. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned that they can't be straight silent.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, especially the songs, what do they say now?
So it was actually more kind of like my parents-in-law, because like, I chatted to them way more of what to do and things like that. And then when I came up with that, they were like, okay. With my kids, they were quite small at it. So now they're 20 and 17. So at that time, they were 15 and 13, 12, right? And like I was mostly, let's say, I had them most of the time. And so I actually asked them, guys, do you mind if I become a tennis coach? Because it's an afternoon job. So obviously you play tennis when everyone else, you know, not when you're at work, but like when you're in your spare time. And they said, Mother, if it makes you happy, go and do it. Because that's always what I've told them as well. If you want to do something, just go. I prefer that you do a lot of things in life. And we come back to failure. There's no such thing as failure. You will just realize that you don't like something or you're not really good at something. It doesn't really matter. You can either be better or you just change it and do what you want. Because the more things that you do in life, that's when you find things that you enjoy. So then they said, yeah, if it makes me happy, let me just do it. And they've been great. So yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Are you still too tired to mingle?
Good question. And it's really interesting actually. Women always ask me that question. And then they're quite concerned. Are you really too tired to mingle? So, I'm not too tired. Complicated. It's not complicated, it's easy. And then what men ask me is like, oh, are you just waiting for the perfect man? Like, no, it's perfect for me. Yes.
I was going to say, with all the energy, with all the life experience, and living your life on the premise of doing things that just make you happy, have your children also inherited that same essence?
Ah, very good question actually. In how genetics, that's right. So inheritance is very good. Thanks so much. I have 2 children who are completely different. It's like literally one got genes A, one got genes B. The older one is more like me. He's a free spirit. So he was studying kind of engineering until his A levels, and then it was time to go to university. And then I was kind of looking at the child, and I'm like, this is not an engineer, right? And then I was really thinking about